Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to another live cupping. It's June, which means it's the Champions Edition. And we have four incredible coffees. Yes, all of them champions, because that's what we do here at the Right Roast. We try to get the best of the best. And what do we have? We have coffee number one this month is by Has Been. They are champions in the World Barista Champion. You see, I'm getting Barista Champion and Brewers Cup Champion and all these different championships mixed up in my head. I've got to make sure that I announce correctly who is what. Dale, we met Dale last week and spoke with him. He is the World Brewers Cup Champion 2017. He also came second, I think, in 2015. This coffee actually is what came second in 2015. So what you're tasting today is a championship coffee. I mean, it ran in the championships. I absolutely love it. Possibly it's better even than it was 7 years ago. Who knows, right? Coffee number two is called Daim Dabia. It's an Ethiopian. It's by Casino Mocha. They are, let me get this right, the Brewers Cup champion, World Brewers Cup, Taster Cup Taster champion. Sorry, got there. They are the Cup Taster champions, Casino Mocha, and then finally, coffee number three. Here we go. I'm ramping it up now. They are not technically a world champion, but I consider Ben Morrow to be a world champion in the Coffee Masters because he has won it in both New York and in London and plans to compete in LA with it. And basically him and Esther and Charlie and everyone in Manhattan are complete obsessives when it comes to competitions. They not only want to give the world competition coffees, they want to keep competing forever, it seems. So that's really, really exciting. They call themselves the home of the champions. So that's good enough for us. And finally, coffee number four. This is Auden Sorbitan's coffee. And Auden is a world roasting champion. And what's really exciting is we went to the World of Coffee this month and we met Auden just a few days ago. I was hanging out with Auden as he was coaching Simo from Solberg & Hansen, because Auden used to work at Solberg & Hansen. He's Norwegian. And he was coaching Simo at Solberg & Hansen. Simo came second this time, and Simo basically wins every time he competes. He told us that the only time he's not winning these things is when he's helping run the competition, not actually compete. So amazing stuff there. That's what we're doing here, is champions all the way. I'll put these back for now, and then we'll get grinding. I'll explain a bit about the cupping to people. You guys know what it is, but I just explained to everyone at home. A cupping is basically where we're going to grind all the coffees the same, pretty fine actually, so that we're not going to brew it with any paper. We're just going to pour lots of hot water into each. It's about 200 ml water to 12 grams of coffee. That's a standard recipe for cupping, but you can follow your own recipe if you like. Just make sure that each coffees are in equal treatment. So they get ground the same, they get the same amount of water, and they all steep for the same amount of time, which technically, in the world of cupping, is 4 minutes of steep time. Then scoop out the grounds with your spoons. Clean your spoons between each scooping. And then wait another 10 minutes. Break the crust. Take the aroma in. Of course, then scoop out the grounds. Wait 10 minutes. And then start sipping. Use these tasting cards to break it down. And then you're giving yourself lots of exercise, agility. Do it with friends, because that way you talk and analyze. And then your senses become sharper. And then you enjoy coffee more. And hopefully one day we'll be making or appreciating coffee on a better level. Okay, right. So coffee number one. This one is a Colombia. And let's go through it quickly. We've got one washed Colombia. Then we've got straight away a washed Ethiopia. Then we've got a natural Colombia. This is going to be interesting, right? Going 1 and 3. Natural Colombia, washed Colombia. And then finally, coffee number four is a washed Peru. Right, now all four of them are done by incredibly experienced championship roasters. So I'm going to be very intrigued to talk about the nature of their styles and everything. So let's get going though. So start grinding your beans. I'm going to put mine in the Ode. Set it to the fine, not the very finest level, actually, to the cupping level, which is between 2 and 3. I'll go closer to number 2. So if you have any questions at this point, guys, let me know. But the best thing to do is to just get grinding, get pouring, and then we can start chatting during the steep stage. So here we go. Coffee number one into the hopper. A Ode setting number 2, like I said. I prefer to grind on the finer end of this kind of appreciation for people understand that in the cupping setting for grinding. I think there are variables. Some people prefer slightly finer, some people slightly coarser. I prefer slightly finer because it just opens up the flavor a bit more. Okay. Okay, don't forget to take in the dry aroma. Remember, the story of your coffee starts with the dry aroma and ends with that last cold sip, right? And everything in between is what matters as well. The dry aroma, the wet aroma, that first sip when it's super hot, and then that next sip as it cools, until finally you have one last sip when you can't drink that coffee anymore, but it's very cold, and you just got to connect with what was the dry aroma all the way to the cold, right? Exercise. Okay. You've got to place these smells that you put into your mind now into your memory, or jot it down on a piece of paper, because not everyone can remember all the aroma of 4 coffees at once. Some people do. I think experts can remember probably 12, 20 coffees that they're profiling at once. But this exercise you do today will prepare you better for the future when you do professional profiling or when you just want to enjoy your own cupping. Okay, that's the dry aroma of coffee number 1. Quite a gentle smell, I would say. But I know the taste to be far more lively and full of depth than this rather gentle aroma I'm getting right now from coffee number 1. Okay. All right, coffee number 2. Into the hopper. Right. If you have any questions or any points you want to make, remember, just wave your hands or put a text on there. We got someone else joining us. Excellent. Hi, Francesca. And if you just joined us, we're grinding the beans already. We're getting going here. So get grinding. And if you need any explanations, just let me know. If you want to switch on your camera as well, please do, because this isn't YouTube, remember. We like to all chat and discuss our coffees here on our monthly cuppings. Right. Ooh, number 2, huh? This is a washed Ethiopia. It's very fruity, dry aroma, isn't it? Yeah. Pietro likes. That's a very fruity aroma. And normally with Ethiopian coffees, even when they taste fruity, I don't smell that much fruit in the dry aroma. Nice. Casino Mocha, we were going to talk to them, and I apologize, but we had to cancel that because, to tell you the truth, they're rather shy. So these guys, amazing, but I think they're hiding away in Hungary, happily producing fantastic coffee, but also happy to just not show off about it or anything, because a lot of people don't even know about Casino Mocha, and they are, well, they're world champions. So it's quite amazing, really. 2. Number 3. Now this is going to smell pretty wacky. Sweet Valley is a pretty nutty coffee. So here we go. Right. Wow, yeah? It's sort of a mix of candied smells and lively fruits. But that's Manhattan for you. So if you want to understand roasters' styles, the more I taste of one roaster's coffee, the more I pick up their style. And well, sometimes a style just doesn't come through because some roasters just like everything. But you do know with certain roasters, particularly world champions, is that they go for particular styles, or they just are attracted to certain coffees, and that reflects in what you see. And Manhattan, definitely, I see consistently with them these amazing kind of candied sweetnesses. I think that's Ben and Esther's sort of penchant for Colombian coffees, for sure. I think 70% of their coffees are Colombians, but also for these unusual sweetnesses like bubblegum and Nutella and interesting things like that. Really, really great to see. Okay, coffee number 4 is El Lechero, Peru. and it's by Auden Sorbiton. Now, I've been really wanting to try Auden's coffees for years, work with him because, well, he was sort of someone I didn't know much about but found incredibly fascinating because he doesn't really put any fancy branding on his work. He's the kind of guy that really wants just his coffee to do the talking. And if you look at his bags, honestly, could you see a more sort of plain, kind of ordinary, muted, very kind of subdued... it reflects the man, right? He wants his coffee to do the talking. No fancy design work. Sometimes I'm very interested when I hear roasters with big reputations and plain design. That tells me something about their mentality. So very interesting. Now, here we go. All right, what's this one? It's a really wacky coffee. I find this one because at first you think it's something you understand, and then it starts to do a few little weird things, this Peru. It's a definite one of a kind, and I think Auden understood that with the Champions Edition, they all did. Is that they didn't want to give us an ordinary coffee. They know that if they're going to be represented as champions, they wanted to give us something that really speaks for who they are. And yeah, we'll talk more about that when we drink them. So let's get the kettles boiled. Remember, you can go to boil or just off boil. It's not really important. Super high temperatures are a great way to extract all the flavors, but light roasted coffees obviously don't really need extreme high temperatures. Often you'll find, I think some people have told us that they find some of these coffees a bit fuller than they expected, but that could be your high temperature brewing. So if you want today for your coffees to not taste too roasty, I suggest maybe go for a 96, 97 degrees rather than 100 or 99. I'm going to do a 98. Yes, because I'm not confident about boiled, but I'm also don't want to go too cool. So get your kettles ready. Let's do this all at the same time, if possible. Oh, sorry, Francesca's still grinding. Can we hear them? Is the volume up? We'll wait for Francesca, because like I said, it all happens at the same time. Guys, happy to discuss things. My voice isn't great. I've had 3 days of World of Coffee, and we met Pietro there, by the way. So he's in Italy now, and we're in London. But yesterday, Pietro and I met, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, at World of Coffee. Can't hear you. Where's the volume?
2 days ago.
2 days ago. Thanks, Pietro. What an event, huh? Goodness me. Epic.
Yeah. Very fabulous.
I could show you some of the coffees we picked up. Goodness me. Look what we got here. Renard. They'll be in next month's edition. He gave me this amazing geisha. Wow. Yeah. It's a Colombia geisha. So I can't wait to try that one. Oh, we got some treats here. We got Usultan. This is from Solberg and Hansen, and I don't even know what origin. Usultan. Where is Pacamara from? It's an anaerobic. El Salvador. El Salvador. Very exciting. Right, these guys, super exciting. Mabo. They're from Romania. One of the coffees I tried had olive taste in it. Wow. In a good way. Yes. Fuglin Oslo, not Tokyo, because we've been trying Fuglin Tokyo for years, but finally Fuglin Oslo we got to try, and they're fantastic. And I think these guys, are they from Italy or Spain? Yeah, this is Italy, and a guy we met 3 years ago when we were in Italy was helping out at a stand. They're called Nowhere, and guess what? It's another Elva gel. So we're going to get another Elva gel to try. I'll show you. This is called Nowhere.
Nowhere from Milan.
From Milan, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so, Finca Elverghe.
Finca again, yes. I've had so many Elvergels this month, so it's going to be really interesting to be drinking another one of those.
Finca Elverghe.
Right. Is Francesca ready to pour the water? 2 minutes. Okay. Let's get two more coffees here. Has anybody tried Pacamara Coffee Lab? So I got a sample from them. And, What else? We've got Bunny from Jordan. Have anybody tried Bunny?
Yeah.
I hope they're not roasty. They did say that these are light medium. So already I'm not sure I'm going to like these as a filter, but we'll see. I do like their design and they're very nice people. What else? Now, has anybody tried these guys? I'm curious. They're Irish. PS coffee roasters. PS. I'm curious. Because these guys, they tried to send us the sample twice and it kept getting sent back because they didn't put enough declaration or something. So the guy sees us at World of Coffee, gives me this coffee, really nice guy. Hope it's good. Hope it's good. Okay. I think Francesca's ready. Are you ready to pour? Okay, let's get the kettles ready. I'm going to just reheat mine quickly. I just realized I'm at 93. So I'm going to push it back up to 99. Then when I get ready, we'll pour.
I'm hearing some echoing.
Oh, are you hearing echo?
Some noise in the sound.
Is it me? Am I echoing now?
Now it's good.
Great. Apologies. It might be just a feedback on the speaker. Sorry about that. Thank you for letting me know. If anybody hears echo, just tell me straight away. I want you to be able to hear me clearly. Kettle's ready. Make sure you've got enough water for 4. Here we go. And if you don't have enough water for your 4th cup, then stop before you get to that and refill. Don't pour halfway. Let's do it. Cup number 1. If you have scales, put 200 ml water into 12 grams. If you have cupping bowls, you don't need scales. Just pour it basically to just before the top. Eyeball it. It's that easy cupping. It's just about grind and pour and wait. Nothing else. See it, say it, sorted. Oh yeah, sorry, that's a British thing. Okay. And I might not have enough for number 4. I think I do. Yeah, it still feels a lot. Good, thank God. These oats don't hold that much water. So I do get a bit worried at cuppings when I try to do 4 cups. Uh-oh. Yeah, I've just got enough. Phew, okay. Right. Now the easy part. We just wait. Then we're going to break the crust in 4 minutes time. What I like to have is 2 cups of water for the cleaning and then a third different size cup of water for drinking. If you have 3 cups of water all looking the same, you might end up drinking the water that you're cleaning the spoons with. I recommend a different cup for drinking with. Yesterday I was watching the Cup Tasters Championships and that was fascinating. Never seen that before. They've got all those cups on the table and then they're going like, and I'm wondering, when are they going to drink water? You know, there's some of them don't. Some of them really sip fast and they're not resetting as often as I thought, but others are doing it. Somebody told me that it just takes up too much time to drink water. So you end up maybe killing the pace or the rhythm. Definitely when you're at home cupping, I recommend a little sip of water or something to reset. You're not in competition. This is the time where you've got to train your taste buds for competition or for whatever. But don't start going sip, sip, sip furiously without resetting your taste buds. How are you really going to understand what an anaerobic or whatever a wash tastes like after tasting 3 other coffees beforehand? You've got to be able to just clear that palate a little bit every now and then. And so the Cup Taster Championship was fascinating also because when they lift the cups and the judge is going, no, or yay, when he sees the red dot underneath. I loved all that. That was a really, really fascinating experience seeing all that. But it inspired me, I think, when they were doing all that sipping and judging, that I just really understood that these guys, these are elite people, that if they can pick out these tiny differences, which coffees are not quite right. Wow. Imagine how they are appreciating the flavors in coffee, right? We want to get there as well. That's why we do this every month. Come on. Yes, sorry, remove that. Champions Edition. So, this month's design. Let's take a little bit look at this month's leaflet because I think this is a good place to appreciate all the hard work that Aiko does into the design work here. It's fantastic every month. So what you're doing this month is learning about the different competitions and their different rules and rounds and things that have to happen. So what I was just talking about was the Cup Tasters Championship, and the rules for that are, here we go. It's speed, skill, and accuracy. See, speed. So they have to really get fast. That's why they don't drink too much water. Today, it's not a speed test.
4 minutes.
4 minutes is done. I'll stop talking about that. Let's grab the spoon. And remember, it doesn't matter if there's a crust or not. You've got to just get everything stirred and smell it, and then use the chart. Here we go. We're going to write down whether the aroma is strong or subtle. That's all. Not sweet, sour, or anything else. Here we go. Coffee number 1. Ooh, sweet. Is it subtle though? If you're not sure on the first one, just keep going and then you'll be able to compare and know. So you don't have to write anything down straight away. And dip the spoon in the water in between each one. Oh, sweet. Number 1 and 2. Very sweet. Wow. Number 3 is alive. Huh? Is that one a crazy one? And finally, number 4. So gentle. You see, I thought the aroma in number 1 was gentle until I smelled number 4. And then I realized, actually, there can be one even more gentle. That's why the scorings you put should kind of come a little bit after you've assessed all 4, right? Then there's a comparative analysis going on. So no drinking yet, nothing like that. That was just a mix, stir, let all the coffee grounds go to the bottom. Steep time, 10 minutes.
Then clean the surface, yeah?
Ah, that's right. Clean the surface. Here we go. I forgot to clean the surface. Right. Okay. So, cleaning the surface, for people at home who don't know, is just taking 2 cupping spoons and scooping out the surface muck, grounds, foam, whatever, dipping it in one bowl, then dipping it in another cup of water, clean, going to the next one. So you've just got nice clean cups, and the rest of the grounds settle at the bottom. So that when you cup the coffees later, obviously you're not going to dig your spoon right in, or you'll get a big spoon full of coffee grounds. And this is the way a cupping happens. No paper involved. Right. It's also good to note that that will affect the body of the coffee, right? So a lot of these coffees that you taste as in a cupping experience, the body is not going to be similar really when you taste it in a V60 or a Kalita. To sort of replicate the body of what you taste today, one might need to do an immersion brew, I would imagine, because this is a sort of immersion-based brew. It's immersive. Drip coffees are the opposite, right? The water passes through for just a few seconds. Right now we've got minutes of steeping. So just consider that in your analysis when you compare it to the brewing of a coffee. It's almost like when you make a movie and you do all the mixing and the dubbing of a movie in a studio. You've got desks with mixing, sound desks. I used to work in films, and then you see the film on the big screen and you're doing all the sound effects. When the film is finished, you've also got to do a mix on a crappy little television with one speaker, because you've got to also understand how the mix is going to sound, not on big spectacular sound, but on little sound. So when you analyze your coffees, also consider, what is it like as a brewed coffee? And for future roasters out there, I wonder, Pietro, perhaps? This is something to consider, is that when you are cupping new coffees, you should also taste that coffee in a brewed method to understand when Q grading it, what is it going to be like for my customers who won't be cupping it?
Yeah, because there are 2 different brew methods in cupping mode, you have more oils, for example.
Exactly. I think that people need to understand that cupping is great exercise, but it is a cupping brew. It's still different to a brewed coffee. And it's about focusing on other aspects of the enjoyment.
I think you will never have the complexity of cupping in any other brew method.
Right. That's true. It's sometimes too complex. It's not necessarily a good thing. So, yeah, absolutely. Very well put, Pietro. Okay, I was talking about the Cup Tasters Championship. I want to read a bit more about the rules. So here we go. It demonstrates speed, skill, and accuracy in distinguishing the taste differences in specialty coffees. 3 cups are placed in a triangle, with 2 cups being identical coffees and 1 being different coffee. And the cuppers will identify the odd cup. You know what? As I read this, I really want to have a go at this. I think I might enter the UK Cup Tasting Championships one day. I mean, I've spent 7 years drinking so many coffees. That's got to count for something. So I need to get Q graded, things like that. Very exciting. This Cup Taster Championship, I love the simplicity of it as well, because the Coffee Masters, to me, is a nightmare. That's just too many disciplines, right? You've got to be, you've got to have latte art skills, cocktail making skills, speed brewing skills. You've got to talk fancy with the microphone and do all sorts of selling the idea of what you're brewing. Cup Tasters Champions, they just sip and taste and sip and taste. And yeah, I think I'm going to give that a go one day. It looks really exciting. And then there's the World Barista Championships. Here we go. Now this is promoting the excellence in coffee, advancing the barista profession with championship events. Each year, more than 50 competitors each prepare 4 espressos, 4 milk drinks, 4 original signature drinks. You see, this one almost sounds like the Coffee Masters. I'd say that the Coffee Masters is probably just a few more events added on, but quite similar to the World Barista Championships. Very interesting. Any of you ever competed or wanted to compete? No? Look at this, shaking your heads. Pietro, I'm surprised. Are you not interested in competing at all? Yes, says Oliver.
I'm not so competitive.
Oh, what's important with competitions for future roasters, Pietro, is in specialty coffee, it raises your profile. Like next month, we're working with Meron, who are a fantastic coffee roaster. Did you taste their coffee, Pietro? They had a big stand at the World of Coffee, and I consider them world-class coffee roasters. Everything they're roasting is just incredible, and they have the infrastructure and the consistency of world-class roasters. But they're lacking any championships to give them the real credentials and sort of image of world-class roasters. And that's something I think they're really going to go after now. But they were like you, probably, Pietro, where they just didn't think it was important. They had their passion for making coffee. But you should consider, future roasters, that it can be a very big part of your PR to the world of your quality and skills.
Oliver did the Brewers.
Oh yes, sorry. Oliver says he did the Brewers Cup Germany last year. Amazing. See, this is I love to hear that other people have competed. Can you tell us, Oliver, you can type it, about your experiences? Where did you come? Welcome, Anders. So you're late to joining, Anders. Have you got your cupping bowls ready? Have you ground? We've already ground and steeped our coffees. So if you want to join us live with the video, Anders, that's fine. If not, just tell us where you're at.
He's a brutal.
It's 11 o'clock at night here, so I don't think I'll be cupping.
I can see by your thumbnail, Brutones with the crazy colors. Excellent photography,
That's me.
Brutones. Oh, so you're from Cologne, and where did you come last year? It was an amazing experience, and I learned so much during preparation about coffee, got more deep into it. That's another reason to compete, is that it actually gives you the deeper appreciation. The kind of thing I want with cupping, for people to have the deeper appreciation. I think competitions gives you that as well, because you start spending time with really kind of passionate people around you. And then when you're in the competition, the energy becomes infectious. Maybe it's the never competing part that can be the biggest barrier to competing. And then once you've done it once, you start to get the taste for it. Who knows, Pietro?
It's 10 minutes.
It's 10 minutes. Here we go. Grab your spoons, grab your tasting cards, get your brains engaged. Here we go. Remember, taste. Well, we won't get to the flavors, but first it's mouthfeel. Go through all four. And remember to come back to them later cold, because this is at the hot, hot temperature. Okay.
This round we have to be quick.
Wow. Woo. Mouthfeel. Mouthfeel. Okay. Water. Wow. Interesting. Oh, number 3. What do you call that? Well, I'm going to be redoing mouthfeel because clean cloudy is one aspect, but there are so many ways you can cut the description of mouthfeel. And right now, they're all tasting quite different in a way in a mouthfeel. Not different, but there are some differences. But on the clean cloudy side, these guys are consummate professionals. I'm not getting any cloudiness, super clean. So that's why often the clean cloudy part of this is not the easiest. No, I'm sorry, but these guys know what they're doing. And these are 4 very clean coffees. Acidity, right. This will be the interesting one. Reset the palate. Number 1 has been the washed Columbia, right? The washed Columbia. So if you wrote down the names of the coffees, which I didn't in the cards, then you'll immediately, when you're sipping it, know I'm tasting a washed Columbia. I'm tasting a natural Columbia. You need that connection as well, right? It's all about understanding. This is doing something to my mouth. What is it doing? And why is it doing it, right? Okay. Say 1702. Wow, number 1 and number 2 so far have very similar statistics. They're different coffees, but they seem to be hitting the similar buttons all the time. There'll come a point where they go their separate ways, but right now 1 and 2, 1 in Ethiopia and 1 in Colombia. Wow, okay. Number 3. Off the charts. Is that acidity crazy or what? Oh, okay. Mellow one. Right. Body. Reset. Remember those sips of water? Speed now. And then when we get into the flavor notes, then it's more an open discussion and it becomes a fun kind of flavor identifier. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Now there is a difference. This is where they begin to separate 1 and 2, the body stage. There is a difference, but it's small. Okay. 3. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Number 3. That acidity almost hides the body, number 3. You've got to kind of ignore the acidity when assessing other things on number 3. But good luck with that. It's tough. Number 4, maybe I should sip water between number 3 and anything else. And I'm going to need another cup, please, Aiko, because I've just hit my limit on caffeine. The last 2 days of World of Coffee means I'm now going to start spitting coffee in a cup. Normally, I don't do that on these cuppings, but yeah, I'm hitting my limit early today. Okay.
Legend.
Thank you. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Now the finish. Little sip of water, even a tiny one, I think, in between each coffee for the finish. See, number one is an interesting one. It's a washed coffee, but I wouldn't call it the shortest finish in the world. It's got all this cherries and stuff going on. I shouldn't have given that away, but it's the description on the front of the bag. And cherries often push the finish longer than normal. Okay. Getting there, getting there. Okay, it's zingy. Okay. Here we go. Number 3. Long finish is an understatement. I'll be tasting number 3 into next week. Finally, number 4. Okay, number 4. Washed coffee, but not the shortest finish, right? It's a bit unusual. It's got a kicker. It's got a kicker. And that's it. Flavor time, guys. Okay. Start typing them, calling them out. I want to hear interesting flavor notes. Pietro is often really interesting flavor notes that you go, aha, yeah. Okay. Natalie and Gary couldn't join us today, unfortunately, and they're very vocal with their flavor notes too. So don't be afraid to call out whatever you're tasting. This is the fun part. Okay. That's why on our bags, we do not put flavor notes. That's an important thing. So it leads you to this point. And even when you're drinking the coffee in a non-cupping session, the fact that I haven't put these flavor notes in the bags means you are doing a little bit of a kind of cupping session by going, I wonder what I'm tasting. Okay. Number 1. Well, cherries I gave away, but what else, right?
Tomato, I guess.
Next. I'm going to say for number 1, I'm getting a bit of cake as well as the cherry, a little bit of cake or caramel or butterscotch, something like that. I think when it's brewed, though, it's not so cakey. It's more butterscotchy. So that conversion might be the cupping experience. But there's definitely underneath the cherries for me that
I feel
that
kind
Colombian
of
classic
black
thing.
or brown sugar.
Okay. Anybody calling out anything, type it if you like. I need some interesting flavor notes.
Can you hear me, by the way?
Sorry.
Our speaker was off and we couldn't hear you. I'm so sorry. It's because when we have our speaker on, there's echo. So just tell me again. I couldn't hear any of you.
I feel
for
kind
number
of,
1, what are you getting?
Brown or black sugar.
Brown or black sugar, says Chang. Very good. Absolutely. Black sugar. Never had that.
Savory, like roasted tomatoes for me.
On number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting. Now, let me try that. Yeah. You know what? Maybe not even roasted. Blanched, something. But there's a touch of that umami tomato in there. Very interesting. You see, the brain can go there if A, it's an accurate descriptor, or B, your mind, you've eaten the thing. That's the important thing. If you've not had the tomato, you'll never be able to go there. So sometimes people won't relate if they just haven't had that thing. So it's just a confidence game sometimes. Okay. Number two. Here we go. Oh, this is an interesting one, right? Here we go. It was very fruity, but right now as it cools, it's changing. It's really kind of, I don't know, it's got like lime and bergamot and other kind of, everything is dancing on the high end, but it's complex at that end. Usually it's quite simple when it's a lot of that acidity and lemon, but this isn't. This is kind of complex high notes. Interesting one, but tough to pin down. Come on, engage with the memory of what you're tasting. What can it be?
Oliver says go with the tomato thing.
Go with the tomato thing, says Oliver. Excellent. So, it's sweet now again as well. So it's not just the high notes. It's a very balanced coffee, Casino Mocha. Really, really enjoy that one.
Oliver says lavender floral bergamot.
That's fantastic. I love that. Lavender was what I was looking for. Something that isn't quite... Yep, Pietro agrees. So
lavender and bergamot.
Lavender is a very good flavor note, Oliver. It's like you've competed somewhere. Well done. Okay. Number 3, here we go. This is a crazy coffee. So I can't wait to hear what you think. I mean, what notes you come up with. It could be that everybody has something different. Wow. It's not this insane when I brew it, but it is crazy. Wow. So, this is a hard one, huh? Francesca, what are you tasting right now? Which coffee are you on? 3 as well, excellent. This is a really hard one. I am looking for inspiration here, people. What are you tasting?
Juicy fruit. It's a bubble gum. I don't know if it's...
Juicy fruit. Yes, you're getting that. I think, yes, this is Manhattan's flavor note as well. So this one, I think, is a memory thing. It's very much who's had juicy fruit, who hasn't. Who's had that specific bubble gum? Because
strawberry bubble gum.
I do get echoes of that, yeah. But I think it's not something everyone picks up, right? What else? What's behind that? There's something floral. I think it's like rose or rose hip or something in the rose category.
Rose hip.
How about what's that? Anders.
Anders says pow pow. I do not know what pow pow is. Does anybody else know what pow pow is? You see, this is what memory is about for some people. And they should do flavor wheels, I think, in different countries with local foods. So, Chang, where are you from?
I'm originally from China, so lots of food I see on the wheel, I don't know what's that taste at all.
It's time for Chang to create the first Chinese SCA flavor wheel.
I don't have that expertise, but...
But if you watched us on the Eastern Europe edition, you'll see that the coffee by Crooked Nose in Lithuania, where he created his own Lithuanian flavor wheel, full of local flavor notes. So, yeah, that's something definitely to consider. Pow pow. Oh, we've got it. Thank you, Aiko. A pow pow is, it looks like a tropical fruit. It looks like a big grape, though. It's yellow inside. I'm not seeing the flavor description, though, Aiko.
He says pawpaw is also known as papaya.
Oh, I see. Papaya. Excellent. Yeah, well, I agree with you. Finally. Papaya, we got there. Yes. Nice one.
Francesca says passion fruit and pineapple in 3.
Wow. Now you see these fruits, I'll try. It's really, really individual now. Oh, yeah. It's there. You're right. If your brain, for me, I just trust my first gut reaction. Is my brain traveling to that flavor note more or less or not? And you also have to push aside all those other aggressive notes that you've been tasting and saying, is it amongst them? So great stuff, guys. Really well pulled out. Now rinse and go for number 4. Remember, even cold, they're going to reveal interesting stuff. And like I said, connect with the dry aroma somehow, if you can, the memory of that, and see what story did this coffee tell And that can give you a complete answer as well. All right. Love number 4. Wow. Full of interesting notes. I get very sort of mixture of fruit and sweet, or cakey, breaded, interesting dynamics, almost not kind of malty, almost touches of maltiness mixed with touches of fruit. Peru, unusual origin, has its own thing going on. Let's try a bit more. Wow. And a bit of peanut maybe. Wow. There's a lot going on with this Peru. So I can't wait to hear what you have to say. Who's up first for a Peru note? Oliver. Very fruity. Somehow I think fresh cucumber. Are we talking about number 4? Oliver, just confirm. Are you talking about the red number 4 Peru? Yes. Okay. Cucumber. Wow. Could be right, you know. Are we going to agree with cucumber, guys? Pietro is just thinking. I can see.
Yeah, I find something like green apple, not cucumber, but green apple.
I like the cucumber because green apple is different. That malic acid and apple is sweeter. This is less sweet than a green apple. So, Oliver, boom. Love the cucumber. Love that. I was looking for what was different about Peru. It could be these cucumber sweetnesses because they're not as sweet as an apple. And the acidity is just a little bit less than malic. See? That acid addition has already taught me about the malic acid. That's great. Great flavor note, Oliver. Love that. Okay. So let's wrap it up or we'll be here all day. Okay? That was a brilliant session. Now we're going to pick our favorite coffee. I think there's a difficult one. They're all so equal, right? What?
Oliver.
Yes, Oliver. We have a lot of Peruvian coffees in our roastery. In our roastery? Where do you work, Oliver? He is a dark horse, this man. This one is for sure different, right? Auden. He is a curious fish and an interesting guy. His background was in engineering. We interviewed him and Simo yesterday or 2 days ago at the World of Coffee, but I'll post that. I need to edit off the end because I was talking to him with the phone in my pocket. And when I post that interview, you'll see that Auden, he's an amazing guy. And this is just an inspiration, seeing these 4 roasters on the table here, showing us their crazy, wild, mad skills. What's that? Well, show me again. Lucas, what's that? Monkey Hill.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Look at that. That's his coffee. What a crazy small one. That's brilliant, Lucas. Okay. Wow. Guys, love this session. What? Sorry, Icos.
Anders was telling us he was concerning about number 1 and 4.
Ah, is Anders here?
Yep.
And Anders was concerned about number 1 and 4, right? What?
Yeah,
originally. Anders, speak to me. So, have we alleviated your concerns? Because I did speak to some of the roasters about the possibility of, well, someone said that if coffees are brewed at a lower temperature, they won't taste as full or as roasty if that's the experience. Did that help you by brewing at a lower temperature with coffee number 1 and 4? Honestly, don't think 1 is a light roast. Wow. This is
also get
controversial
roasty
stuff,
notes.
Anders. Okay. How do other people feel about coffee number 1? That it is a light roast? Not really? Light medium? Interesting.
When I measure coffee,
Sweet
Pietro, what did you say?
I don't think it's light roast, and it has a roasted note. But if you want, I can measure with my Tonino color.
I would like you to, please. We'd love all the feedback, as I'm sure the roaster would as well, because that's what we do here. This is sort of like an analysis mode, brain trust. I want to hear all your feedback, guys, so it's great to hear. strong cherries. For me, strong cherries, and I don't know, it's a fuller coffee, but I'm not picking up these notes, and I'm going to brew it 5 different ways. But I have to trust my community. Understood, Anders? We'll take this feedback to the roaster, and we'll see what's going on. And of course, Pietro's going to do the measuring on this as well. And you can see a roasting machine in the background right there. Pietro's fantastic. Very cool. Should we pick a favorite? Should we go for it? When, oh no, Francesca's not on camera. Anders not on camera.
Pietro is doing something.
Yeah, I don't think, should we not do it? Should we do it?
Maybe they can type, yeah?
Yeah, just type. Everybody type the number of your favorite coffee in the messages, right? When I count to 3. So just hover your finger over the keyboard now on your favorite coffee number. You don't have to visually show it. Just type it on the keyboard, and then we'll see everybody's results on there. We'll collect that data. Okay? Ready, everyone? Pietro, hover your finger. This is a dramatic reveal. Your favorite coffee, for today's session is 3, 2, 1.
3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 2.
3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. Looks like number 3 is the winner. Oh, they're holding as well. But we've got a higher count for 3, right? Or is it equal? Okay. What?
Yeah, it's 3.
It's 3. Okay. Manhattan, number 3, wins today's mini session. Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Thank you for all the feedback. Thank you for your dedication and your brilliant work. Amazing flavor note identifications as well today. Super exciting stuff. What? Anything else I need to say? Announce? Pietro. Yes, Pietro.
Yeah, I measured the color. The ground bean is exactly the same, 117. But coffee number 1, all bean is strictly darker.
Really? Okay. Thank you for that. Brilliant, Pietro. We've collected the data as well. What a great session. I love it. We've got a bunch of professionals amongst us now. Thank you, guys. Enjoyed today a lot. And join us next month for the Berries edition. Super exciting stuff. That all kicks off very soon. So Berries edition, it sounds sweet, but it's actually going to be a fantastic analysis of the complexities of the berry amongst other flavors as well. So don't worry. This isn't like every coffee is going to taste berries forward. Sometimes it'll be just a subtle berry note. Sometimes it'll be very prominent. But these are all amazing coffees anyway. And it's more about talking about the roasters and the coffees themselves and celebrating a summer of fantastic fruits. So join us next month for the Berries edition. Thanks again, all of you guys. Brilliant work. Amazing. That's it. Get out of here. Bye, everyone. Thanks.